Hello, welcome back to the final part of the membership registration tutorial series. Today we'll finish the project by adding search functionality to our project, and then I will also convert the project to iOS using B4i. Thank you all for the subscription and the comments and the likes. I really appreciate it and the support from the forum. Let's get started. Okay, so to add the search, I'm thinking we should place it in between or on top of the list. Okay, so we'll modify this, bring the list view down a bit. Okay, then add the search in between. So let's duplicate this. Let's need the panel, so we bring the panel down, delete these labels, resize the panel. Let's change this thing to a search icon, this label. Let's make it square. A bit big. Change the typeface to, let's use my two icons. Change the font color. Okay, it's already white. Let's make it a bit big and let's center it. Okay, so this is the search box. Let's add a button to the right side. I think I'll copy this, duplicate, then we'll put it inside this panel. Let's name this panel search. Here, search icon. This button will go into panel search, so its parent will change to panel search. Okay, now that it's inside the panel, when you check the views 3, you can see that panel search, it's having the search icon and then this button. Let's also name the button search, right? And then change the name to search. Since the panel is having radius of 10, let's also give that same radius to the button, so 10. Then we'll anchor it to the right, the same height as the panel. Finally, we'll add text box here. The hint will be search. We'll anchor it to both sides. We'll rename it text search. Okay, so let's push it to, we are working with the layout, dashboard layout. So we go to dashboard, and we declare these two. Okay, now that our layout is ready, let's take a look. We'll be using wildcard search, wildcard like. So this one uses to search for a specific pattern in a column. So you can get it from W3 Schools. So we'll be using the wildcard search. Okay, let's open our database. I'll insert some dummy data to the members table. Okay, so I have inserted some dummy data into the database. Let's run the SQL query to see. So you can see that we have two Johns, but the surname is different, Smith Ashley. But there is one last name for Smith, but it's a female and it's also Cynthia. So let's see how our query will run. Now I could see it brought out the two Johns, right? So this one will select anything that is having John. So as when we are searching for John Smith, or we want to include last name, we can also add okay. So with this, it's being specific with John and the last name Smith. We see we have Smith, which is Cynthia, but because the first name it's not John, that's why Cynthia is not here, right? But if you use "or" here, it means it will bring either all the Cynthias, all the Johns, and also include all the Smith. But even though John is not Smith, it brought it, and Cynthia, who is not John, is also part of our query. I think we'll go with the end, so our query will be a bit smooth. I'll copy this and going back to the code. So in the button search, paste. Okay, so I just realized our text box, it's just one, which means that they will type the full name there, or they just use one word, right? So how can we do this? We can check and run different queries. You can check if the name contains space, that means the person is searching full name. But if the name is just one, then we search for either first name or the last name. Okay, so we will have to split the name. So let's do that. Just putting this here for reference. Okay, so in case we are searching for two names, we have to split the name, right? So to split the name, we can either use substring. Okay, so we can have something like this. Assuming first name is the one that comes first and last name is the second one, we can have space index x in equals to name to search dot index of, we want to locate the position of the space, we just give empty space as a parameter. Then the f name as string first name equals to name search dot substring 2, which beginning index 0, ending index not including the last index, so we can just put the space index, so it means to pick the first name. Now for the last name, also name search dot substring, this one use substring 1 since it's just two names. This one will specify the beginning index, which is inclusive, so it means the beginning index will be the second space, the space in between the first and the last name. So space index plus 1, then that should do it. So we say log first name, string, and log last name good. So the second way we can do it is using regex. So let me do that one here as well for learning purposes. So we can have, you have to specify the color, color blue. We can have the full name array as string equals to, regex.split. Right, we are splitting. The pattern to split is space, so you just give empty space. The text we are splitting is name to search. Right, now that we've splitted it, it means first name should be the first item in the array. Full name array 0 should be the first name. L name should be the second item in the array, which is 1. Then we also log the same thing. So let's just run it first before we connect to the database. Okay, so Paul Smith, it means you have to detect that there is space. Good, as you can see, searching full name, which is this log, then first name Paul, last name Smith. This one with regex to, we got the same result. Right, so I'll just comment one out and use one. Okay, I'll bring the query up. Then result set as result set, make it result, select all from where the last name. Okay, so do while result dot next row. Okay, so this is for searching for full name, but in case it's just one name, it means we have to search from either the first name field or the last name field. So with that one, we'll have to where first name like first name, or I think or or I think last name like last name. We will assume they are all first names. Okay, so we assume so here our name should just be first name. First name equals to name to search, because it's just one name in the text box. So use that same name to search through the first name field and use that same name to search through the last name field. So instead of passing, let's just use name to search direct. Okay, name to search, name to search. We search first name in the first name field, or we search the first name in the last name field, and that's it. Where status equals to active. If we get a result, we load into our list view. Okay, let's try it and see. Currently we don't have any name in the list, so let's add new. So here we are. Let's search for John Smith. Error. Let's see what's happening. Okay, sorry, I think we have the query. We have two ways. The status also have to be just end. So select TBL from TBL members, where first name like this and last name like this, and status equals to active. Okay, the same thing here, and so you should have only one where clause in the query. Let's run again. Okay, we have John Smith. If you can see, it's added. The list is not cleared. We want to clear the list, so at the button search, we should clear the list. clv.clear. So I will use new list. So let's search again. We have just Smith. Part of only Smith. That means we should get that John or Cynthia right. Both John or Cynthia. When I click on John, I have John. When I click on Cynthia, I have Cynthia. When we search for Ashley, we have John Ashley. When we click on it, we have John Ashley. But if we also during search, we clear this list as well, right? So we can do that with text change on the text box, right? This one, make it search. And also, let me remove the accept and reveal buttons. We don't need them here. Then text change. So on the text change, you should clear the preview of the name. Then we have a preview, clear of preview. This one, we can now move it to its own sub called clear preview. Let me put the sub where under the load sub clear preview, right? Okay, so as soon as the search starts, we should also clear preview. Where else? I think one of the either update or delete, we should also clear preview. Let's run the app again, then we'll see where to put the clear preview. Okay, I'm starting with John Smith. Click on it. As soon as I start typing different person, the preview should clear. Cynthia. Now Cynthia. Okay. Let's update Cynthia Smith to Esther Smith. So Cynthia update Cynthia Smith. We are changing her name to Esther. Sorry, Esther Smith 56. Girls prefect female. Save. Okay, so I think when we click update or add, it should also clear the preview, which is here. Button update, clear preview, and button add and button update, clear preview. Okay, so that is that. Now let's move to B4I. Okay, so now that we've opened our B4I, let's give the project a name as B4A. Okay, next we go to this page. We don't have the add and the dashboard modules here, so we go to project, add existing module, then we will add it. We'll link to relative paths so that they will share the same code. Now add the dashboard as well. I'll also link. Okay, always remember to add the library before you go to the designer, because if the library is not having, if you've not linked the library, its component may not be copied when you copy the layout from B4A to B4I or any other platform. So make sure you add the necessary libraries you used from the other project before you copy, especially those that are depending on the designer. I think I also have SQL. Let me add the SQL as the task library. Okay, now let's go to the interface. First, I'll copy the main layout to B4I. This is the main layout. I'll delete this button. I remove the navigation bars and reduce the animation to 0. Hold on, let me see if I can fire up a preview of the iOS. Okay, so I'm mirroring my iOS screen here. We've added this, let me see, files, the splash image files. You have to add the splash image. Let's make sure we sync the images to the B4I project as well. So you control click here, exit code 3 means it's successful. So splash in B4I file, we click on image, we have the splash here already. Yes, let's select it. Okay, so here we go. The next on our list is the second layout, which is add. Right, you can just save this one, save as ly add. Then Control A to copy everything from the Android side. Delete this. Control V to paste everything. Now sometimes the iOS doesn't bring the colors, especially for button. So with this button, we pick the color from here and then we paste it here. Background, there we go. I see. Let's give it the radius, border radius. Let's give it 20. Okay, there we go. Then last layout is the dashboard. So let's save this one again. ly dashboard. Then we clear all this. We go to the Android side, open the dashboard layout. We Control A to copy, Control A to select, or Control C to copy, Control V to paste on the iOS side. Then as usual, we also get the color for the button, which is the same color here. So button background color, this for this one's to the same. Let's give them the border radius. So let's give them 20 as well. 20 for this one, 20 for this one, and finally 20 for this one. I think that's all the layout. So we can close the Android designer, minimize the Android, and then now fix any errors we will have in the iOS, and then we move. The first thing we can see is SQL is not a member, which means we declared it in main. Main usually is not copied, so let's declare it here as well. Dim SQL as SQL. Good. Now that we have that, let's check the main page. Everything looks good. I think this is no longer needed. We'll remove it. Add. Everything looks okay, no error. Dashboard. Everything looks okay from here. Let's run the app and see. Okay, I have to set the package name. Control B. Okay, let's run again. Okay, install. The splash screen. Here's our page. Looking good. We don't have any members. Search. No. So first we'll add. So I go to add. We have Paul Smith. Sorry, Paul. First and last name. Smith. Age 20. Position voice prefix. Gender male. Save. Successful. Let's add the next person. Abigail. Agbanyo. Age 30. Girls prefect. Female. Then we save. Successful. We have this thing here, we'll fix it. Let's go back. Now you have the two names. When we click on Paul, you should go to see Paul's detail. Click on Abigail. See Abigail's detail. You can delete Abigail. Are you sure you want to delete? Yes. And Abigail is gone. Here we go. So let's fix this title by issue. To do that, we go to the main. We change this to nav control dot navigation bar visible equals to false. Okay, let's run again and see. There we go. As we can see, now the navigation bar is gone. Everything is working smoothly. Thank you. Bye.